Oh, look, all my favorites. I am so glad you're here. Let's take a minute to see what PBIS has done for Keno in the past few years. So naturally, at Keno, we love PBIS. Did you know PBIS is the only approach to behavior that has been written into law since 1997? What is PBIS? I'm so glad you asked. It stands for Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports. Just like academic RTI, PBIS has 3 tiers and is used to decrease disruptive behaviors in the classroom. The end product is an increase in student success and achievement. The common misconception about PBIS is that it's for kids. Wrong. It's actually for you, the adults, so bask in the glory that for once, something in education is just for you. With traditional behavior theories, educators are forced to be reactive, waiting for the behavior to be displayed, and then attempting to squash what we consider inappropriate. It relies on specialists and alternative settings. Who's going to help this kid? 'Cause I can't. Rigidity and punishment drive these traditional theories. With PBIS, educators can be more proactive, intentionally setting up structures for student success. PBIS teaches the behaviors we want to see, then builds capacity through reinforcement of those behaviors. If a child doesn't know how to read, we teach. If a child doesn't know how to swim, we teach. If a child doesn't know how to multiply, we teach. If a child doesn't know how to drive, we teach. What happens if a child doesn't know how to behave? We punish? Well, that does not make sense. We teach and reinforce behavior many times every day, even bad behaviors, and even when we do not mean to. I know what you are thinking. I thought the same way. I would never teach or reinforce the bad behaviors. Well, I did think that very same thing, but I had to have a serious talk with myself about my imperfections. It's okay, Kate. I still love you. But seriously, let's take a look at this real situation that has occurred in my classroom many times. Let's call our student Starla. That's my cat's name, and since my daughter invented it, I doubt you will know any real children with that name. Starla meant well. She would start out the year by staying in her seat, but as the year went on, she hardly ever stayed there. She was constantly finding reasons to visit me or the 22 other students in class in the middle of a lesson. The first few times, I would redirect her nicely. Starla, sweetie, please remember to raise your hand and ask permission before you get out of your seat. Starla, please remember to stay in your seat. But inevitably, it would become less positive as the year went on. How many times do I have to tell you to sit down, Starla? Do I have to call your parents in front of everyone? And when it got real bad, it sounded something like this. That's it. Go up to the office. I am tired of dealing with you. I didn't know whether Starla was just looking for attention, trying to avoid work, or if she comes from a household where there are lots of children and she gets rewarded every time she helps out with the younger kids. Regardless, every time I acknowledged her inappropriate behavior, I was only reinforcing what I did not want her to do, and I lost a little more of me. Our reaction determines whether a behavior will happen again or not. To change a child's behavior, we have to change our own behavior. What PBIS really is about me. If I had spent time collecting a little data, I would have soon discovered that Starla is an attention seeker, and every time I yelled at her, she was getting my attention. Granted, the attention she was getting was not positive, but attention is attention, and sometimes students learn to take what they can get. Did you know that by using only positive reinforcement, pointing out what a person is doing correctly, it is proven that the behavior will improve 80% of the time? That's right, 80%. Yet sadly, positive reinforcement is only used 10% of the time. It is for this reason that we use Keno Cash. It's for us, not for the students. The purpose of Keno Cash is to remind us to use positive reinforcement more often. Some students will crumple it or throw it out. Yes, but it's not for them. It's for you. It is your tangible reminder to reinforce what you do want to see instead of reinforcing what you do not want to see. So in the example of Starla, I should have retaught the expectation of staying seated, and then every time I saw that behavior, I should have reinforced it, even if it meant reinforcing the same behavior 12 times. That first day I saw it became an issue. Instead of making a big deal of when she was out of her seat, I should have been making a big deal of when she was in her seat. Thank you for being responsible and staying in your seat. Wow, Starla, you're still in your seat. Thanks for being responsible and staying there. We will be taking a break shortly. This works 80% of the time. We will get to the other 20% in a little bit. So, what do you do if they don't want it or if they throw it on the floor? Remember, your reaction determines what will happen next. I've seen some teachers take the drawing portion of the cash immediately and put it in the drawing jar. If they never spend it, it's their loss. Other teachers showcase items from the Keno Cash menu in the room. Look at my cool chair. It only costs 20 Keno Cash. You know you want to sit in it. Do you allow your students to buy things off the menu and truly encourage them to purchase things, like extra bathroom passes or pencils? It might sound something like this. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to get started on your independent work. If anyone would like to purchase a homework pass or new pencil or anything off the Keno Cash menu, now is the time. The first time you use Keno Cash, it's kind of awkward, so we want to make sure you have plenty of practice before the kids are sitting in front of you. It's important that when you hand out cash, you follow 3 rules. Label the expectation, label the behavior, and then give the cash. So it might sound something like this. Thank you for being responsible by following directions the first time. Or, thank you for being safe by entering the classroom properly. We're going to take a few minutes to practice using Keno Cash now. You did it, and we're back. A little bit more about Keno Cash. Keno Cash should not be used to bribe children. For example, if you do this, then I will give you some cash. Or, if you don't listen, then I won't give you cash. Bribery doesn't work. What else should you not do? How about this one? I have cash for the first 3 that get the correct answer. This doesn't work because it's only reinforcing the fastest or the smartest. Give me back that cash that I just gave you because you were disruptive. You can't take back something that they've already earned, I guess. And finally, you were all so good today, I'm gonna make it rain. That's not specific. Everyone can earn cash, but the expectations and behaviors need to be labeled. There should be a stack of cash on each of your tables. For the rest of the 3 days of training, you will be practicing reinforcing each other with cash. We will be doing a drawing at the end of each day, so fill out your Keno cash. Thank you for being responsible, respectful, and safe during this presentation. Happy reinforcing. Have a great day.